This is a quick update on two of the Gauteng cases in which Action Society is involved. The first one is Charlene Pretorius, who was burned to death by her husband, she was in the process of divorcing after many protection orders and so forth. That happened in 2023. There's been many delays from it, moving from the Magistrates Court in Pretoria North, and now it is in the High Court in Pretoria. On the 20th of October, the family was there, we were there, and trial was supposed to start. But it was postponed because the toxicology report is still outstanding. The postmortem is ready. The the prosecutor is ready to continue without the toxicology report. For us, it is an open and shut case. We also don't understand why the defense is so adamant on getting the toxicology report. But he poured petrol on her, set it alight, and she burned to death in front of their teenage daughter. So he's been incarcerated or in jail since then. And we were very excited when the case started last week on Monday, the 20th of October, because the judge, it seemed like she doesn't take any nonsense. She asked the prosecutor, why is the toxicology report not ready yet? Because if it gets to High Court, it should be ready. Then he explained, like we all know, that it takes very long for the forensic evidence to be processed. Then she asked in court to call the doctor who requested the toxicology report. He got her on the phone in court, spoke to her, and then the judge said, hand me the phone. It was on speakerphone. We could all hear it. And she said, can it be ready in a week's time? I request this now as a judge. They said yes, and they sorted out the final stuff just to get it ready. So it was postponed to Monday the 27th. The judge was sick, so it was postponed to the next day on Tuesday. On Tuesday, postponed to February 2026 because no tox report. The family is so negative. It is horrible to see what they have to go through every single time there's a delay or something like this happens. It is not acceptable, and it should not be happening like this. A case is delayed because of a toxicology report that has been outstanding for more than 2 years. Another case that I was at with the family is the Gabby Doba case. She was murdered. She was first missing, also happened in 2023. Missing, then there was a kidnapping case, and then finally they found her and she was murdered. It is still an inquest at this stage. It's a technical police judicial procedure. So an inquest usually takes a bit longer. That's when they're not sure that it was, or it's not very obvious what happened, how the person died. Then they have to do it a bit different. But toxicology report, still outstanding. The initial investigator, who was removed from the case, thankfully, mentioned that it can take between 5 to 10 years for a toxicology report. And I assume this is because it's an inquest, so it doesn't get priority. And then it was a bit strange to me because we work with this, and I asked the new investigating officer, is it true? And she agreed, yes, it usually takes 5 to 10 years. And I still couldn't believe it. I asked the group commander, who was also in the meeting, and he said, yes, that is how long it takes. So we have a toxicology report outstanding. On top of that, the phone that was found with Gabby, with her body, when she was found, is still in evidence. Nothing's been done. It was given back to the family because the investigating officer said the family kept pressuring him to give it back. But it was never processed. They were pressuring him to give him urgency to get stuff done, because they could see early on the right things were not done. So they gave it back, all sealed, still it was, and this is how they know it wasn't processed. It was still sealed, like it was sealed at the scene where they found her. Nothing has been done. Unfortunately, within 3 months, you can still track and see location and so forth on an existing cell phone contract. But time has passed now. It's more than 2 years later. So that avenue is closed. So hopefully, when the phone is found in evidence where it is still at the police station and it is finally processed, there might be some clues as to what happened. Hopefully, it shows something like that. But the phone was there all the time. Nothing was done. The toxicology report was never fast-tracked. That is what we found out now. It is now fast-tracked with a new investigating officer. We were supposed to get a feedback session from the station commander. She promised this 2 weeks ago. She said, give me 2 weeks, I will give you feedback. She removed the initial investigating officer and then put a new person there. And the family is happy with her. It seems like she knows a bit better what to actually do in a murder case. But then when we showed up, at the confirmed meeting, the station commander was not there. She had another urgent meeting. I understand that things happen, but then you let the family know or you organize your things better. That is a slap in the face of the family. The family is so fed up. I'm afraid that her dad is going to take the law into his own hands, and I cannot blame him, because everything that could have been done wrong in this case has been done wrong, and they still cannot get proper answers. There are even other things happening in the background that is very suspicious and concerning to the family. It blows my mind that this is the situation that we are sitting in South Africa. This is the situation. We cannot continue to hope that the state is going to change, that the state is going to be overturned, and suddenly everything is going to work. That is not going to happen. The police, even if there's a complete overhaul, which will take years, even if the court system is overhauled, even if the labs are overhauled, the whole system is overhauled. It will take many, many, many years for it to work as it should. And then will it? We don't know, because what we have seen is it doesn't work like that. So the only solution is that Action Society is saying all the time, decentralize the police, so bring the police closer to the community. Don't have such a long funnel where the national department decide everything and it filters down, but everybody can put their hands into the pie along the funnel and help themselves. And public-private partnerships. There are forensic labs ready, who can do the work, who can lessen the load. For things like toxicology reports, it is really not such a difficult test to do. We have seen the evidence from the Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee, where they say the police admit 91,000 outstanding ballistic tests. It is not different for GBV cases where you need to test the forensic evidence like DNA or rap kits or toxicology or anything like that. It's exactly the same. We are in a crisis, and the only way we can fix that is to forget about the state and do it ourselves. That is the only solution.